Hi guys and gals, Shane Stevenson, Director of Museum Collections and Curator here at the Buffalo Naval Park. And for today's video, it's going to be a winter update. I usually have been doing those, usually every winter for 3 or 4 or 5 years. And so I'll have a short video here for you regarding the weather and the Sullivans and things like that. I'd first like to show you, I'll show you 2 sites on the computer here. This is from NOAA. As of this morning, water temperature off Buffalo is 32 degrees. So that means that the water temperature is at freezing. A second graph, if you're looking at the 2 axes, this is the amount of ice coverage, percentage of ice coverage on Lake Erie, and these are the days of the year. Right, the blue lines, as you can see, is the historical average from 73 to 2024. You got the nice bell curve, which is just an average of all of those blue lines. And then this black line represents this year's ice coverage. So if we were to take a look, you can see it's hard to figure out what days those are. But you can see within a matter of two days or so, ice coverage really shot up from about 35% to over 80% within a couple of days. All right, so we had to watch out for that quick ice coverage. And of course, if you've been watching the news, last week we had a lake freighter actually stuck about a mile off Buffalo. And they had to get the Coast Guard icebreaker to come in and encircle the ship, break up the ice, and then create a path for it to continue on its way. So that, as you can tell by that black line, the ice coverage really snuck up on us. It's a good thing because it prevents wave oscillation during seiches. So we've talked about seiches before. If you have 2 to 3 inches of ice coverage, you might have a high wind event, but it's not affecting the water as much as if the water was in liquid form and just exposed at the top of the lake. So it tampers down seiches and the amount of water flow that, like a bathtub, goes from Toledo, Cleveland into Buffalo and then back to Erie and Toledo and Cleveland. But as the season begins to warm up, April, March, what we'll see is if there's still a lot of ice coverage, now all of a sudden that ice is breaking up, giving it full access to the power of the wind, and now you have thousands and thousands of little icebergs, right, that would be affected by a seiche, and they can come and slam against the docks, and especially here going from Buffalo south to Erie, for people that live on the waterfront, they can have some property damage because the ice is just piling up due to those seiches. Docks get damaged, stairs and platforms can get damaged going from their house down to a beach. And of course for the ships, it can mean we get bombarded with small icebergs. So it has a good thing during the winter that seiches get tamped down, but come spring, all of that breaks up, and now we are, potentially in the way of many little icebergs, or ice flows, I should call it as well. All right, so let's head out and oh yeah. It's sunny, but maybe it's a little warmer than 15 degrees right now. That's good. Oh, we have some visitors here. That's nice. Sorry. Sorry, just trying to unlock the door here. Now, one of the things is that the water level is so low. All right, this again, you've seen this probably angle before. You can see that where the ice level is, the current ice level or water level is well below that. I would say that's a good foot, foot and a half. You might be able to see it right there pretty well. All right. You can see the Buffalo River, but you can also see it gets broken up over there by our bumper and things like that. So I did a little filming yesterday. The ice coverage seems to be about the same. We did have snow, so it's so there's some snow on the ice pack right there. And because of our bubbler system, you know, we still have some water that's moving and ice is not forming there. So that's ideal with us getting ready and the survivability plan with the Sullivans. It is supposed to warm up tomorrow, so today was, out of the past, say, 4 days, this was the coldest, and then it's supposed to warm up tomorrow as well. But again, here, you can see, if you've been here before, our brow, you can see how low the ship is in the water compared to even the promenade there. And our brow kind of shows that. And again, that gap between the current water level and where the water was at some point with the ice. So with our survivability plan, one of the things that we were working on this year is strengthening the superstructure in the deck houses, all right, at the framings. So I'm going to show you that. Also, we have installed a bilge pump system now. That's like a permanent bilge pump system. Right, so those floats are meant to go off if the water is at about 3 inches or higher. So if we do have a water incursion, the water rises, and then it would set off the float. And we actually have it's not a hose system. We actually have installed a piping system, right? And that gets pumped right overboard. And then there's a door that opens and closes. Not a door, but a blank that opens and closes, so it's not exposed to the weather, 24/7. So this is some of the work that we've had our union do. All right, here's some framing. All right, I'm sure you can see that pretty well down by the bimetallic welding down here. If there's any holes leading to the outer deck, all right, those have been filled, and then the union has been going frame by frame and checking to see if there's any wasted metal, or if there's a lot of degradation. They just cut it right out and they refabricate some steel and weld it together, and they also put in a new plate. So you can very clearly see the weld here, and it's actually a little bit thicker than the original frame. If we come over here to to starboard, you can see that as well over here. All right. Here as well, and you can see how much thicker it is, and there's a weld right there, and the plate to stabilize it. We're also working on like our fan rooms, because there's a lot of, like these right here, like our plenums and fans and vents. There's a lot of degradation in those areas as well. As of right now, we are currently very easily sitting on the bottom of the Buffalo River. All right, so that might give us a little 1 degree list or so, depending on where the keel is resting on the bottom of the Buffalo River. And that's one of the things when we do go to dry dock is we're going to re-dredge in this area. So even if we have a low water event like we do right now, there would be no danger of us actually resting on the bottom, which is important, right? I know there's a lot of ice, which is protecting probably that oscillation at the surface, but that doesn't mean there's no currents going on down below. So if we're resting on the bottom, especially for the Sullivans, that's just something that we don't like, right? To be resting on the bottom when the currents could be carrying things by the hull and against the hull especially. So when the Croaker and the Sullivans go to dry dock, we'll be able to dredge another 3 to 4 to 5 feet, and if we have a low water event like this, well, we're still 2, 3, 4 feet away from the bottom of the Buffalo River, instead of currently sitting in the Buffalo River or on the riverbed. And no doubt the Croaker is as well, and usually the Little Rock is, usually anyway, just because of her draft. So it'll be good to dredge out everything, so that everything will still have, you know, a few feet of gap between the keels and the riverbed. So that's kind of the update for now. As I said, the ice coverage got really strong. There's a lot of ice coverage in a very short period of time. We saw the ice build up very quickly here, but our bubblers are keeping the ice in line around the hull as best as it can. And you know, we've got the bilge pumps installed. We're going through the vessel on a daily basis, and we've got the Marine Company at the ready if anything is to happen. Well, thanks so much for all of your support. All right, one of the best ways of supporting us is to subscribe, get notifications. We are still also doing our All Hands on Deck campaign, which is a special challenge coin. And for this year, it is our P39 Cobra with some historical information on the obverse of it. So we have a whole bunch from the Little Rock, Sullivans, Croaker, PT boat, and now the P39, the PTF boat, sorry. So I'll put a link to our All Hands on Deck challenge coins down below if you'd like to continue to support our mission, and thank you for all of your support for all of the museum ships. You know what? We'll see you again soon.